All right, we are live on episode 10 of the Weekly Take podcast here with another special guest. Darion Joseph is in the house today, all the way here in Pullman, Washington. We are here.
What's going on, guys? We're here with another good week. Week 13 in the books in the NFL, you know.
Yeah, so to move on to the NFL Week 13, me and Darion have talked sports basically our whole lives. To start it off, let's go with last Thursday with the Saints ending up losing to Dallas by 3 points in Dallas. What happened last Thursday in Dallas?
They just got.
You could swear. You could swear if you want.
They got fucking stopped. They got fucking shook up by Dallas. It was rather gross because I'm not a Dallas fan, but that's what happened.
You look at something like this, and you look at the Cowboys and say, was it Ezekiel Elliott's doing? Was it Dak Prescott's doing? Or was it the defense?
Finally, the defense stepping up and showing out finally for the Cowboys.
It was more of a defensive showing. The defense showed that Drew Brees is an aging quarterback, and he is not he's not invincible.
He's
essentially.
That team has flaws.
He has a lot of – I mean, yes, they have flaws, and a lot of people thought, oh, well, they beat the Rams. They beat this person. They beat that person. They beat this team by this many points. But you couldn't even go into Dallas and win on a Thursday night game. Are they still contenders? And I know that's just idiotic for me to even say that. But did Dallas give the NFC a blueprint in how to beat them?
Hope on how to beat this juggernaut that's supposed to be just dominating everybody. I mean, the Cowboys are on a 4-game win streak coming off of Philly, Atlanta, Washington, and New Orleans. Yeah. Only allowing more than 27 or 23 to the Redskins.
You look at that team, and you just this team shouldn't be bad. You know, I looked at them in the beginning of the year.
Rough 0-5 start.
Yeah. Were they actually 0-5 to start out the year?
0-5.
Oh, my God.
Start out the year, San Francisco lost, Bengals lost, Cardinals lost, Texans lost, and Panthers lost.
So they've won out.
They've lost once to Seattle and once to Washington and Tennessee.
And then they won the rest of their games.
And they've lost one to the Texans, too.
What?
Dallas has got this.
They probably didn't even win any of their preseason game more that I look at it. Okay, so to wrap this game up, I just looked at it more as Dak is playing at actually a pretty good level for the first time. I can actually be like, you know, Dak Prescott is, and when he throws it more than 10 yards, he could.
That was preseason.
Was that preseason?
Those first 4 were preseason.
Okay, so run through their schedule real quick so we could kind of just.
So they played.
They
lost Carolina, beat the Giants, lost Seattle in Seattle, beat Detroit, lost to the Texans in overtime, and then lost at Redskins. So they've been playing pretty good at home as of this year. They haven't lost a game at home, undefeated.
You know, I got to go back to the Amari Cooper things of the Cowboys. I know it's beating the dead horse.
The trade was worth it.
It's
first rounder was well worth it.
It's looking more worth it. I'm looking at it more as they couldn't give a first round pick for Earl Thomas. Did they need Amari Cooper more than Earl Thomas? Because you look at that defense, if you plug in Earl Thomas, that defense is
for how they've been playing.
Yeah,
that would give them a significant fucking boost in just PPR and grades and everything.
Yeah. So Cowboys end up winning this game 13-10 against the Saints. Big win for the Cowboys. The Cowboys basically have the division in control. They're in control of their destiny right now. Unless they totally just give up, I think they're going to take this division. As much as I want Philly to take it, I think Dallas, it's their division to lose right now.
It's all up to next week.
It's all up to next week, and they play Philly next week. Actually, is it tomorrow? No.
Sunday.
And I think that's a Sunday night game. Yeah, it's a Sunday. No, it's an afternoon game. That's going to be a big game. So to move on, Cowboys end up winning that game. Moving into the Baltimore Ravens at the Falcons. Baltimore wins this 26-16, and I didn't think we'd win. And I say we because I cheer for the Ravens, and everyone knows that, but what the hell? The Lamar Jackson 3-0 start. 3-0 start.
Is it just a boost in the defense? I think the black guys just want to see Lamar Jackson. They just an extra push. Joe Flacco just wasn't having it. He just wouldn't give in.
I think it's so true. I think the chemistry, they're trying just a little bit harder. Like when Baker Mayfield was on the field, everyone's just trying that extra little. All right, let's give him an extra jumping force. And Flacco's a good quarterback, and he's done many great things for this organization. But
it might be just time to move on.
It might be time to move on, and I'm a Team Flacco guy. I have a Flacco painting in my bathroom. But is it time to move on? Because I look at the last games we've played. We've played the Falcons, who are.
I mean, they're just kind of playing just kind of like Seattle football. Just take it out of their hands and hold on to the ball and kind of make easy throws for them and outside stretches and it just and it's just like just having all those weapons on with you and having Alex Collins playing well when Seattle cut him they thought he was weak and then here's his surge.
I look at Alex Collins and I feel bad for the guy. Because he came in and he looked so great as, and when he would play Pittsburgh and when he would play all these people. But now it's Gus Edwards time, Lamar Jackson time. Willie Snead, Michael Crabtree are making plays. Mark Andrews is on the field making great plays. Hayden Hurst gets in there, has that connection. But, again, I look at our schedule the past 3 games, and I want to say we have been running the table. We're 3-0 in the last 3 games. We played the beat-up Bengals, the Oakland Raiders, who – everyone who listens to
$100 million,
$100 million quarterback. Yeah, we got the $100 million Raiders against, and then we have the Falcons. We go into Kansas City next week. Is this going to be the true testament for this Ravens defense, #1 rated defense in the league right now, to go against the #1 rated offense without Kareem Hunt?
Everything. The Ravens are on a winning streak. This is their big push right here. They show everyone in the AFC that we're here to stay around and stick around, and we're going to fight against the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I say they give them a good run like this. If they lose, maybe they give them a run. They could very well meet up in the playoffs. So the Ravens end up winning 26-16 in Atlanta. To move on to the next game, we had the Panthers losing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-17. I cannot lie to anyone listening, to Darion himself, and say I watched this game at all. I looked at the scores, and I'm just disappointed in the Panthers right now. They're coming off 2 big losses. The one in Seattle is okay, but to lose to Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay.
They're thinking about stripping him and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
God.
You know what? The defense has honestly just been getting shit on the last couple weeks. It's how much did they gave up? 24 to the Bucks, 27 to the Seahawks, 20 to the Lions, 52 to the Steelers.
You look at this team and you just say, what is wrong? Because they have a good defense, but they don't have
Thomas Davis is aging.
Thomas Davis is aging.
Coleman's not even on there anymore, huh?
No.
Who's even in that?
No, it's I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Their secondary is
honestly garbage. I look at their offense, and they have Jameis Winston, if he was playing at a great level, or Fitzpatrick was playing at a great level. They have, Peyton Barber at running back?
Yeah.
With Ronald Jones. And
And
Jaquiz Rodgers, I think, might still be on the team. And then you got Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, Deshaun Jackson. There should be no excuse why you guys can't score points. But, if you don't have a semi-decent defense, I guess it's going to bite you in the ass. So, Tampa Bay wins this one 24-17. I wish I could talk more about this, but I don't really watch the Bucs or the Panthers except for last week when they played Seattle. And they played great against Seattle, but, Seattle's playing at lights out right now. So to move into the Bears-Giants game, the Giants ended up winning by 3 points in New York against the Bears.
To stick around. Everyone thought the Bears were a sure thing. They're a hot team, big defense, Khalil Mack. What happened?
I think they're missing Trubisky right now. I don't think he was in, and I think what is their head coach's name now? It's the guy from the Chiefs.
Who?
Chicago.
Matt Nagy.
I think Matt Nagy is actually getting his colors exposed from the NFL right now. He had the whole Chiefs dump off stuff with
Tariq Cohen,
and then Trey Burton. They had all that cute little shit, and I think it's actually coming to bite them in the ass now. So I think New York is just. I think New York's not going to make the playoffs. I don't unless the stars align. I think, but I think statistically and mathematically they cannot make the playoffs. But to look at this, I think the Giants are that team that's just going to say, we're going to win just because you need to win. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to fucking screw everyone.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the Bears this year offensively? Because I know defensively, they're very good, but what do you think offensively?
Well, like you said, they're just dumbed down plays, making it easy for Trubisky in his first couple of years. When they have a good run offense, they have good because the playbooks are so much wide open. You can throw it. You could just I don't know. It's just that it's showing their colors in the playing scheme. Just everyone's trying to figure out that he doesn't have that playmaking ability. Throw it up the seam.
So how much of this is Nagy, and how much of it is Trubisky?
Well,
percentages. If you were to cut it in half, if you were to put it in 60-40, or is it 50-50?
I mean, you always want to say it's 50-50 just because it's always a coach that's supposed to make his players prepared, go in for the game feeling ready, and push and play their best ball.
I think that's like more of the best perfect answer I could actually think of. Best perfect is a new thing I've been saying, I guess. Moving into that, the Giants did win this game by 3 points. Big win for the Giants. Tough loss for the Bears in the NFC North. The NFC North isn't the greatest division right now, but that loss is definitely going to probably hurt them in the end of the run. Maybe third seed, maybe fourth seed. That's going to add up. The NFC is pretty good this year. Moving into the Bills at Dolphins game. What do you think about the Dolphins and Bills? Like, it's one of those games you turn on.
Just one of those games
you don't want to watch.
Yeah, whoever's going to lose is just getting closer to the lottery.
Oh, shit. That was an alarm. Yeah. So, go on to what you were saying, lottery.
It's just basically just whoever loses is getting a better lottery spot. Just another game. We're so deep into the regular season that it's kind of a, trash game. Neither one of them have playoff picture hopes or, they're just trying to figure out what they can do for 2019. They're just basically already thinking of next year.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna cross off the Patriots games because they play them twice. I just think these guys are just battling for the worst spot or maybe they're battling for the second worst spot in the AFC East with Tom Brady and AFC East, right? Yeah, they're in the AFC East.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think that these teams are both not fun to watch. I don't like watching Josh Allen. I don't like watching Frank Gore on the Dolphins. Kenyon Drake pisses me off fantasy-wise. Ryan Tannehill is not the guy who everyone thinks he is. I think they're already looking for a new answer. They lost Jarvis Landry. The Bills have not Jordan Howard, LaShawn McCoy, and he's aging. This is just these are boring teams to me to watch. And I wish I could talk more about this team, but, the Dolphins are a dying breed and the Bills are a dying breed, and I just don't think anyone in the NFL has to worry about these two teams except if you're a fan for them. So, do you have anything else to say about these guys?
Sounds about right. I like the Bills defense as a young crew, and I like Minka just because of Bama fan. But they're mainly just two teams that no one really has to worry about unless you're their fans. Of course, you're just worrying about who they're going to draft this year.
Yeah, so that's a good line. So to move on to that, let's end it there with the Dolphins, and then move on to the Colts-Jaguars game.
6-0.
This was another boring game this week.
They can just throw Tom Coughlin out at quarterback now for Jacksonville. Let's just cut Blake Bortles already.
They are a step away from Tom Coughlin coming in and throwing 5-yard dump-offs, just better, if not worse, if not better than Blake Bortles. I was ashamed in the Colts because I think the Colts were on a hot streak, and Andrew Luck's whole offense was actually looking pretty good.
Something like old Andrew Luck of old.
Yeah, he's actually okay. I'm kind of a Colts hater, but he's actually proved me wrong this year. That offense, Marlon Mack proved me wrong. T.Y. Hilton, I know who T.Y. Hilton is. But just again, I just didn't think the Colts would be this good. And then they have Mingo on defense, and a lot of other young players that are very great on that defense. And it's just, if you can't even put up a touchdown or a field goal on these Jags. The Jags are not the Jags this year.
They're not.
Did the Jags lose people, or did they lose themselves? Because I feel like the whole league just kind of caught up with the Jags this year.
Yeah, they all just kind of just jumped on because they made it such a late surge last year, and it looked like they were such a dominant defense and fly around kind of football. They just, kind of start picking apart where their defense were, kind of older. The secondary is all kind of old besides Ramsey and what was Boye. And
I loved watching that defense. I loved watching them go into Pittsburgh and giving them a run. Sadly, seeing Pittsburgh win last year.
It looks like Miles Jack is getting just exposed, just up and down coverage wise. He's a good athlete, good run stopper, but
maybe so Jags didn't have the strength of schedule they did last year. After them going to the playoffs and them getting that good schedule the next year, maybe that's why they're not that good. Maybe they were bullying some teams.
Yeah,
I can't take away from them, but maybe that's what's going on. Maybe their offense is they
definitely stagnant.
If they had Blake Bortles had who's like a mid-tier receiver that you think could actually save the Jags, because could
Blake
anyone
Bortles
save?
just don't see it.
No.
He's not finding nothing. He had receivers. He's had run game. You see when he has a run game, he still makes those just critical errors that a third pick shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Okay. So the Jags win this one 6-0 in Jacksonville in front of them loud fans in Jacksonville. Moving into the Browns-Texans game. I know you're a Browns guy. What is going on with the Browns? They're having a fantastic year. They've already doubled their wins in the past 2 seasons. But is this the Browns that you think they were going to be, or do you think – first of all, the Browns lost this one 13-29. But did the Browns – is it the coaching? Just give me a rundown of the Browns, what you think of them this year.
The Browns, they've been kind of living their hype. They're all young guys. They all just – I don't know. Just like you said earlier with the Lamar Jackson thing, it's just soon as Tyrod kind of got out of there, they're playing just easy football, just like when he was doing it in Buffalo. But as soon as Baker got in there, they kind of start making a push because they're changing culture, something different rather than every year we're just inserting someone new and we're gonna still be bad. This year they got hope. We're gonna try to get this young kid going. They're putting up a lot of points this year. They're 17, 18, 21, 42. I mean, sure, it's against Oakland, but still a good game. I mean, they even went into Baltimore and got a dub 12-3.
They did. They've stole some wins, actually, from – I think they've beaten Baltimore. They've beaten
Atlanta.
Cincy. Have they beaten Cincy?
Yeah, and at Cincy, yep.
And they've almost beat Pittsburgh. Or have they beaten Pittsburgh?
No, they had yeah, week 1.
Almost beat – yeah, they tied them. You look at this Browns team – last year, they wouldn't even be close in any of those games.
They're just another team. You just turn it.
Yeah, you turn your head. You're like, okay, well, we're gonna win. But to talk about the team who won, the Houston Texans are on a fucking roll.
Their defense is looking like what was the Jags last year. Scary. Tyrann Mathieu, Clowney, Watt's back.
Matthew. Did you already say Matthew?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I look at Jadeveon Clowney and Watt. And I say they're the best outside rushing defensive team.
Best duo ends.
Yeah, I look at Brockers, Donald, and Sue in L.A., but they're the best whole. Yeah, I think the best edges is Watt and Clowney for sure.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's playing lights out. Lamar Miller's giving him more of a play-action kind of approach. They have arguably one of the best receivers in the league. I don't know if I'd put DeAndre Hopkins above Odell, but maybe this year I think I would put DeAndre over Odell slightly.
These last 2 years have been pretty nice.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty.
He don't drop. He don't drop anything.
And the thing is about him is Odell. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Odell guy, but the thing is with DeAndre Hopkins is he's your outside threat, and yes, Odell is an outside threat, but he's more of a inside slot guy to me. Yes, Odell can do that, but I like how DeAndre Hopkins is like a true one, and you could lob it up to him, and he's going to make a play. Odell, yes, he could do that, but I think Odell's strong suit is kind of like AB in the middle of the field. What do you think? What do you think about DeAndre compared to Odell?
I don't know. They just don't. You just like Odell says. I wish we could have attacked this team. You know, just the scheme in New York. You know, it's just kind of going into Saquon. You know, trying to make it work for Eli. You know, just DeAndre Hopkins. They're just gonna throw it up there and say, "Go get it."
Yep.
He's just that good of a ball hawk player. You just throw it at back shoulder throws, curl routes. You know, Odell's more of a throw it to me on a slant. I could take it 80 yards. You know, he can still go up and get it with the best, but you know, fast guy.
Yeah, he definitely is one of those guys, though. Like you just said perfectly. Like maybe if we were to put Odell in Houston, he'd probably do that.
Yeah, you definitely do as good, you know, because there's so much just drip. You know, they're letting Deshaun Watson drive the ball down the field rather than Eli's dumping it down to Evan Ingram, Wayne Gallman.
But yeah, because they don't have the pressure of giving it to their number one pick. You know, like Lamar Miller. They're like, okay, we'll do it, but we're not going to stress too much.
Their workload back, you know, they're just going to put him in there, you know, third down back.
Yes.
I mean, they're going to get some first downs from me. You know, they have Alfred Blue, they have Lamar Miller. It's just a good rotation.
Yeah, he doesn't have a biggest target on his back as Saquon does, I think, for sure. You know, when Saquon touches the ball, everyone wants to hit him.
Everyone.
So that ends that one for the Texans game. They ended up winning this one 29-13 pretty commandingly against the Cleveland Browns. To move into the next game, we have the Denver Broncos, who actually just lost Emmanuel Sanders. That's actually pretty recent news. But they ended up beating the Cincinnati Bengals 24-10. This is another game I don't really pay much attention to just because I like Phillip Lindsay and I like the Broncos offense all but Case Keenum. Other than that, the Broncos are a cool team to watch, but the Bengals they're really injury prone right now.
Without Andy Dalton
Everyone.
or AJ Green, you know, just everyone's out right now, you know, already looking like another rebuild season.
Yeah, and I had, when I was doing power rankings earlier in the season, I had the Bengals at like the 6th spot, and I was like hating on these guys in the beginning of the year. I'm like, they are the worst team. They had the worst draft. They had they're a bad team. I don't like them. They're in the AFC North. What the hell? They're one of the most up and down teams in the NFL. Like, I think just throughout this past 10 years. You know, you could get the AFC North showdown when they would send Pittsburgh, Cincy, and Baltimore to the playoffs, or you could get these Bengals.
These Bengals where they're still wondering, why do we still have Marvin Lewis?
Yes. Why do we still have Marvin Lewis?
Why
he can't get us a playoff win. God. So.
But then again, in the Broncos news, it looks like that they did sign Andre Holmes, a free agent from the.
Andre Holmes, yeah.
Andre Holmes from the former Bill.
Former Bill.
And it looks like that Cortland Southern's definitely going to get a lot more burn now that Sanders is gone, and just Penn State alum Deshaun Hamilton.
Okay.
He'll be in on the attack now. He's a big wide receiver with good big playmaking ability.
I didn't even think of it that way because you know how you just brought that up. Emmanuel Sanders is out. Demarius Thomas is out. He's in Houston.
He's gone.
And then who else was the other receiver?
There are Cortland Southern.
Yep. And then I look at that and I just say, what the hell? Like, they got Phillip Lindsay, Case Keenum, and
they have Royce Freeman.
Freeman.
They have Royce Freeman too.
And this team is hurting for a playmaker on offense. Because when Peyton Manning was there, they had Julius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Demarius Thomas, Julius Thomas.
Did they have Wes Welker then too?
Wes Welker. They had an offense. Now they have the defense, you know, but Case Keenum isn't going to – I think Case Keenum, I hope to see – I know I don't want to put any, like, bad thing on anyone, but I think Case Keenum is one of those quarterbacks they're just holding on to until they find an answer. They're probably waiting for
just a good plug-in.
Yeah.
Plug-in QB.
No longer than 3 years, I don't think, unless he balls out.
Yeah, I mean the defense is looking good. Bradley Chubb is 4.5 sacks away from the rookie record. You know, there's 4 games left. 5.
Yep.
Four.
Week
games.
13. So
5.
Yeah.
5 more games left. He easily could do that.
Yep.
You know, Derek Wolf's been good his whole career. He's been a solid left end alongside Von Miller. You know, Brandon Marshall's always a good middle linebacker for you.
Yeah. So other than that, I think the Broncos and Bengals game was a pretty good game for Denver to win. Going into Cincinnati and take this win, big AFC showdown. Broncos, I don't think are going anywhere in that division with both LA and Kansas City. So I think they're just really trying to test shit out, and I think them testing out Lindsey and really get him that workload maybe will translate into next year. So to move into the LA Rams against the Lions, I'm gonna keep this brief because the Rams are a good team. Todd Gurley's a thing. Jared Goff's a thing. I don't like to praise the Rams, but the Lions are not that great, and they kept up with them for a bit, but.
First year of Pat Maturity, he's going to have woes,
Yeah, I don't know about the Lions this year. I've never really been a Matt Stafford guy.
Highest paid player ever.
Yeah, what does he have to show for it? And I'm one of those guys too. Joe Flacco got paid a lot of money and he got ridiculed, but he had a Super Bowl. What has Matt Stafford done? I do understand he's
besides his great arm,
yeah.
Nothing.
And was he that great when he had Calvin Johnson? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you just lob it up to this guy. I could pick up Gardner Minshew or Jake Browning, and they could probably do that.
Yeah, easily.
But don't get me wrong, he's made some good decent receivers pretty good. Rams win this one 30-16. If I had more to say, I just think the Rams just obviously showed everyone why they're the better team in the NFC than the Lions. The Cardinals, the Cardinals beat the Green Bay Packers 20-17 and ruined their playoff hopes.
Ruined their playoff.
No
hopes.
more playoffs.
Ruined Mike McCarthy. Ruined everything. Fresh start. I guess. We'll see what Aaron Rodgers can do under a new coach. Can he listen? They said it was accountability thing. He said he was taking over all the plays on Mike McCarthy. This and that. You never know. How's he going to respond?
Does Aaron Rodgers get a pass for that? Do you give Aaron Rodgers a pass? Maybe the year after the Super Bowl, you say, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, it's all up in the air. You never know what was going behind closed doors.
I think that's right on. Aaron Rodgers is a fantastic quarterback, but like you said, who knows? They could have been bros, and people just thought Aaron Rodgers. Is
I believe you said him and Mike McCarthy had a close knit bond. So they had their ups and downs.
You have to be. They won a Super Bowl together, and they went into this together as a thing, as a team.
Yeah. First head coach couldn't finish his season. That's already have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was fantastic on his part, and that Packers team was pretty good. But Aaron Rodgers was playing lights out. Aaron Rodgers, I think, started showing some better colors when he had Aaron Jones actually doing some good things. Their defense is on the rise, but the Packers are out of mathematically out of the playoffs. The Cardinals win this game. I think the Cardinals are just in that mood too, like the Giants. Big
game, Josh Rosen. Big man, Josh Rosen. The Cardinals are looking good for next year.
Watch out.
Maybe they will get a good solid 5 in top 10 pick. Top 5 pick. They could change their game. Change their.
Who's a good receiver? Is there any receivers that are gonna fall to him? Do you think? Is there any Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald type receivers?
They said that there was hype alongside a couple of the players, but I just don't think they lived up to that hype.
Yeah,
just yet.
They got David Johnson. I think they're a big outside threat away from being very good. Cardinals win this one in Lambeau Field 20-17. The Chiefs, although on the other hand, beat the Raiders by only 7 points in Oakland. Was it the fans were the Chiefs just sitting around with their thumbs up their ass kind of game? Is that what happened?
It looks like it. The Raiders have been getting trounced by everybody basically all year. Been just getting they've been looking shitty.
Yeah.
They haven't looked good, and then the Chiefs defense is banged up. They give up the most yards per game. They're this bad or weak or 32nd in the league, but against the Raiders,
come on. I get the whole Kareem Hunt action, and I get that. I don't wish that on any team either. And they did the right things. They're doing everything on paper right. But okay, I hate to bring it back to Baltimore, but is Baltimore catching Kansas City on the right page? We're going to be talking about this here in a little bit, but you think this is the week to catch the Chiefs?
This is the week to catch Chiefs. No Kareem Hunt. Maybe they might. They'll probably think we still got it, but they're vulnerable for sure.
Yep. Definitely
vulnerable. We're going to see what Mahomes can do by himself.
Yep.
Realistically.
For sure. And there's not much more we could really talk about in this game. Other than that, Chiefs win this 40-33 in Oakland. Moving into the next game, this is another kind of boring game. It happens like every year. Is the New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans? I feel like this game happens 3 times a year. It's one of those games you're like, this game again?
I mean, Mariota's playing good. Mariota's been. I mean, it looked like Mariota and Titans were looking, not very good. I mean, they have a bad loss in the Bills and the Dolphins earlier in the season. Lost to the Ravens 21-0, big goose egg.
Killed them that game.
Finally, they're out of the last 5 games. They're 3-2. I mean, a loss to the Texans and the Colts. Colts were playing well.
Yes.
38 points.
Divisional game.
But I think Mariota can still do it. I mean, he's got Jacksonville coming up this week, who's just like Chiefs are, might be a little vulnerable. I mean, they only won 6-0.
Yeah.
Then they got the Giants, who are trying to make a surge for not to have the worst pick or something. I don't know what their deal is.
Yeah. So with the Titans, I just think Mariota's been banged up, and he's been playing. He's showed some fucking heart. That guy.
Yeah. Every time he steps on the field, he's always, he's going to throw himself out there. He's not going to shy away, or he's hype.
Yeah, they have some, he's making Delaney Walker type players look good. Luke Stalker, this tight end, you don't even know who this guy is. Titans ended up winning this one 26-22 in Tennessee. Tennessee actually went pretty crazy to see what I could tell from this game. Although this next game that came up was a great game 4 years ago. I love this rivalry so much. The 49ers go into Seattle and lose by a lot of points, 16-43. Seattle wins this game. Big homecoming game for Richard Sherman. Okay, these Seahawks, if they play like this, how far can they go?
They're looking great. I mean, the defense was all. Sure, it's the Niners. They're undrafted rookie quarterback. I mean, it looks good for us, for putting up that much points. Making our offense. Our offense is kind of rolling right now. We're getting it going. Russell Wilson's playing great. I mean, he has 4 touchdowns with only, with most of the time under 200 passing yards. That's unreal. I mean, it shows that they're just making him, just make the easy throws, easy plays. Set up.
The Seahawks, when they have that, like you brought up the rushing thing, they're number 1 in rushing, and that's a rare sighting. I know Pete Carroll's, I think he's a run-first West Coast guy, right?
Way more run-first.
Yeah, and, it showed when he had Marshawn Lynch. He would run first.
Run it all night
until
we get to the one.
Yeah, to the one. Fuck. And then they had Thomas Rawls, and they just ran the shit out of Thomas Rawls. And now I think, after they got Duane Brown and they got all these players on the offensive line, they're actually starting to show that, the 49ers, there isn't really much I could really highlight other than they put up 16. That is what I could say. Good job, Niners. The Seahawks defense with Bobby Wagner just in the middle of the field is definitely a good defense. That defensive line is going to get to you, and their secondary isn't half bad either. You have anything else to say about the Seahawks whooping on the Niners like this?
Just keep rolling. We got, who do we got next week? We got
Seattle.
We got Minnesota at home. I mean, we should be looking good.
Monday night, big game.
Your Monday night game. KJ Wright he should. I mean, I don't think he'll play this week, but we'll have Michael Kendrick back.
Okay,
he'll be perfect.
This will be a good. This is a good game.
Him and his bro are going against each other, Eric and Michael.
Oh yeah. I look at. We'll talk about Minnesota here in a second, but Minnesota is one of those teams. I just thought they would be a lot better.
A lot better. I mean, with the hype of the new quarterback, last year going to the conference championship, they should have been. I mean, the defense is supposed to be a lot better. I mean, the defense plays well, but they get scored on a lot.
Yeah. So jump into that. The Vikings actually ended up losing to the Patriots that week in Foxborough. It's hard place to win. But to talk more about the Vikings. You can't tell me Case Keenum was the reason they were good, because now that they got Kirk Cousins and they're not playing as good as they were, maybe Case Keenum had some connection with Stephon Diggs, but Kirk Cousins is still making plays to Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs. Their running game's very great. Is it the defense? It's looking like it's the defense's fault for once.
Mike Zimmer's always been a big defensive first kind of guy. I mean, they got bad losses to the Bills earlier in the season, that 6-27 route from the Josh Allen.
I remember that. That's when I was like, Bills are the worst team in the league.
And then here he comes, hurdling guys and everything. I remember that.
I fucking remember. I remember that.
They haven't really been giving up a lot of points. They gave up 30 to the Saints. That was them rolling. They're coming off. They're back-to-back win-loss. Last 6 games they're 3-3. It's looking a little rough. This really needs if the Vikings were ever going to step it up, this would be it.
This would be a definitely big week for them to step up. The New England Patriots just outplayed them. There isn't really much I could really talk about. So I'm going to move into that game. Patriots actually ended up winning this one 24-10 by 14 in Foxborough. The Chargers went into Pittsburgh and won this game, and this was Pittsburgh's game to win. They needed this win.
Blew it.
The game.
3 offensive side penalties at the end to give the Chargers, momentum. And that's huge momentum.
And I don't want to hear, oh, well, we were trying to ice them, that's for you non-Steeler fans. This is how we do things. We step on fields. We do we do stupid shit, and we try to win games. And this is another dumb example of, the LA Chargers are a good team. And a lot of people like to forget Phillip Rivers. It's the Phillip Rivers show with Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen.
Austin Eckler.
Yes.
Mike Williams, all of them.
Gates, Antonio Gates.
Imagine if they had Hunter Henry. Lost Hunter Henry at the beginning of the year again.
Wow. That team. Phillip Rivers is, okay, if I were to put this in NBA terms, Phillip Rivers is like a Karl Malone played in Jordan's time. He's like Karl Malone. He's like getting put under the radar because there's Drew Brees, there's Aaron Rodgers, there's Tom Brady, and then no one really thinks about Phillip Rivers. He's kind of that guy.
Now he's 38 years old, and now he's still on the show because he's putting up all these points. I mean, he already broke a record this year at 38, 27 in a row. 27 in a row completion.
It's like he's in their shadow, and it's just like I'm
finally ready.
I like to see.
Finally grew over the hump.
I really do like to see the Chargers being good, except week 16 when they play Baltimore. I do not want to see them do good. So to wrap this up for NFL Week 13 overview, we have last Monday's game, December 3rd, when Washington went into Philly, and Philly just stomped on the Redskins. And I think this is partially because the Redskins are injured right now. Banged up.
I mean, Alex Smith, done. Colt McCoy, done. Now you got Mark Butt Fumble Sanchez.
Oh, my God. And then your starting running back is AP, and that's not a problem, but I would have liked to see Darius Geis this year, but it didn't happen. AP is making the best. I think AP is doing very good.
The best stride he's done, here in a while, the last 5 years. He's playing consistent.
Yes.
Consistent and staying healthy.
Do you think he's going to get paid?
I think he'll probably get another probably a good 2-year deal. Definitely
from them?
Nothing. I don't know. We'll have to see. See what they have in store.
Who needs a running back? So I'm looking at these teams. Panthers don't need one. Bears don't need one.
Because if you look at the last couple of years free agency, there was only probably not even a handful of running backs that even got signed to it. Maybe even a low cut deal.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell still hasn't even played.
Yeah, running backs are
the running backs. They're just someone else that you can plug and find.
Yeah,
James Conner was a perfect fit.
Wow, that's perfect. You look at the running back breed. Is it dying? Not dying.
Probably not dying, but they're just finding less value in it. Lineman, if you could find a solid lineman that you'd pay him just because.
Yeah, he's got to make that guy better.
Around, yeah.
And I look at this in Alvin Kamara. This guy they plugged in, and now look at him.
Now
he's a receiving.
Balling.
He's more of the receiving hybrid back, but there's not a lot of true running backs out there anymore.
Yeah, nose between the tackles.
Yes.
It's all kind of hybrid, faster acceleration.
You got Leonard Fournette, Zeke Elliott. Who else is like a true bruiser that's like good? Like LeGarrette Blount's up there.
Yeah.
Gurley.
Gurley's a between the tackles kind of guy. They want him to. He'll say, "Give me the ball, and I'm going to run it down the field and get us first down."
Yeah, he's definitely big enough to fucking do that. Fucking Rams are legit. So that goes for the NFL Week 13 overview. So now we're actually going to move into the Week 14 picks. So to start off for tomorrow, because this is the Wednesday night recording, we actually have Jacksonville.
Well, and the Titans, another hard-fought
Wow,
game, which is going to be I'd say a low-scoring game.
A barn burner type game.
Barn burner.
So I'll pick one and then you'll pick one and we'll go from there. I think I have to go as the safe pick in their home. I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Yeah.
I am having a hard time trusting the offense in Jacksonville. Who you got on this game?
I'd also take Tech. I mean, at home with Tech, the Titans have been playing great. They got playoff hopes. You know, I mean, the Jaguars have playoff hopes too, but with Blake Bortles, it's just not looking good.
Yeah, and it's just I can't trust him. So to move on to the Jets game, I swear these games happened last week. You know, I'm looking at them. I'm like, did these guys play? I actually, I'm gonna go
Jets Bills.
I'm gonna go Buffalo. As much as I want to go Jets, I gotta recuperate my record this year and how bad I've done in picks. I gotta go with the safe pick, so I'm gonna go Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's gonna make some plays. I even think LaShawn McCoy is gonna have a 75-yard. I'm actually gonna write this down. LaShawn McCoy is gonna have a 75-yard run.
Someone bet right there.
Yep, someone bet me right now. Who do you think?
I mean, it's another one of those games, you know, where we won't even turn the channel on, you know, on our screens, you know. But I'll probably pick. You know, I'll go Jets. You know, the Jets have a young defense I like. You know, Sam Darnold. You know, he's good.
I think that's yeah. I think it could definitely go either way.
Yeah, either way. Definitely
It's a butt fumble type game.
Yeah,
I feel like.
butt fumble type.
Well, I don't think was the butt fumble against them. Who was it? I don't even remember who it was against. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was some blue. I don't know. So start us off with the next week's game.
The Giants at the Redskins.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to go Giants. I mean, the Giants are playing well. You know, they say like Saquon Barkley said, we're here to win. You know, we're not here to give up and try to get a better pick. You know, and the Redskins it's just not looking good with Mark Sanchez out there. You know,
Hell no.
There's no rhythm going on in the offense. They're 3 and out all night. You know, with the Giants defense just the Giants in general are playing better. You know, that Odell might throw another touchdown, you know, playing quarterback.
He's the best fucking quarterback on the team right now. Eli is what I hope to see one day. But, you know, I think the Eli days might be over in New York. I just think you're 100% right. The Giants are actually playing hard right now. Saquon Barkley said it perfectly. We're here to fucking win games, and this is a divisional game. And I don't know if the Giants are in. I think they're one of those teams that need the stars to align. But I do think the Giants will win this game. So to move on to the next one, New Orleans at Tampa Bay. I can't pick Tampa Bay over the Saints.
You just can't do it.
No.
I mean, even though how bad the game looked last week for the Saints, you know, you can't. When are you going to rely on the Bucs? You know,
No.
I mean, you're gonna say the Buccaneers are gonna beat the Saints. It might be in Tampa Bay, but Drew Brees looking to have a bounce back night.
Oh, after losing in Jerry World like that, they are
Jerry
fucking
World.
pissed. I can only imagine how mad Sean Payton was probably after that game. He was probably, you're fucking running in. You too, Breeze. You're fucking running too, you old ass. Yeah, so I got to go New Orleans. Are you picking New Orleans as well?
Yep, New Orleans for sure.
Yeah, so just to go into the next game, we got New England at Miami. I think New England's going to win this game. I know I keep picking like these favored teams, but I just think they're going to win. These are big, big games that I think New England has to win for them to solidify the number 1 seed if they're going to be legit and competing with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would definitely pick that too. I mean, just like with the Buccaneers, how are you gonna go against the better team? You know, we're so far late in the season. We've seen what every team's about, what they have. You know, I mean, the Dolphins have also looked bad, just as bad as the Bucs, as offensive wise. We thought Ryan Tannehill was the answer, and they're clearly Adam Gase knows that's not the answer.
Yeah, this team is pretty great. You know, the Miami Dolphins, they're all right. I don't mean pretty great. I mean, they're all right. So I just got to go Patriots again.
Yeah.
it's
just a
hard to
for
pick
sure thing.
against. It's an AFC East matchup. So I just think maybe if you were to give me really good odds, maybe that's the only way I'd pick them. But this is a big game for me as a Ravens fan, and I think as a football fan. If you don't like the number one offense going against number one defense, I don't know who you are. The experts and the statistics and the home field advantage and the offense and Pat Mahomes and the dick sucking of all these good things about the Chiefs would say to pick the Chiefs. But I'm not picking the Chiefs this week. I'm picking Baltimore, and here's why. If Lamar Jackson continues to play at this level, I think we'll be fine. But I also think if Flacco comes back, we are going to fire on all cylinders. I think our offense will put up more points against the Chiefs. But let me tell you why this is a bad pick. Tyreek Hill is a thing. Patrick Mahomes is a thing. And did I say Travis Kelce?
No.
Travis Kelce is a thing. Those three people are big headaches for me as a Ravens fan this Sunday, but I'm still picking Baltimore. What do you think this week? And this is the week I think we could catch them.
I mean, yeah, they're vulnerable this week because the Kareem Hunt thing, and a yearly thing for Andy Reid, over his whole career has been, kind of at the end, his teams fall, they lose gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shown. I mean, he's only been to one AFC or one NFC championship with the Eagles. He might have got close with
that was McNabb era, wasn't it?
McNabb era, Westbrook, Terrell Owens,
Yep.
the whole squad,
That was a legit
you never know. I
squad.
mean, this is the time where, see what Andy Reid has for his team. His star running back, they had to cut him because of domestic violence, How are they going to bounce back?
Yeah, this is a true testament of Andy Reid. Like you said,
His
their
leadership.
star running back's gone. They almost lost to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Wow, that's perfectly said. Moving into the Indianapolis Colts at Houston, I'm going to go Houston. I want to see the Colts bounce back, but I don't think they will. What do you think about Houston this week?
I'd probably just go Texans just because I don't know. I don't have really no faith in the Colts. It's always a boom or bust. They have the tools, but they're just young.
Yeah. This was a real short pick this week.
Yeah.
Atlanta at Green Bay. Who do you got and why?
I'm gonna go with the Packers. We're at home. It's first game back for Aaron Rodgers. I want him to bounce back.
Yep.
He's gonna show that it wasn't me. You never know. Or if it was him, he finally starting to try this year.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly said. I think Green Bay will win this game in Lambeau. Lambeau goes crazy. You know as well as anyone how crazy Lambeau is.
Lambeau jump.
Yeah, it is crazy. I just don't really like Atlanta this year. I like the players, but
Matt Ryan's had a same statistical season. It's just they just haven't had that. On third down, they can't find to get in. They took how many weeks to get Julio Jones his first touchdown?
They are a kid on Madden Ultimate Team that just got a new card, and they're trying to lob it up to him every play. And Julio Jones
see what he's got.
Julio Jones is the new 92 overall card they just opened in a pack. That is the Atlanta offense this year to me. So to move on to the Carolina at Cleveland game, I could see Cleveland winning this game, but I'm gonna go Carolina. Just because Cam Newton, I think, is going to make something happen. And Christian McCaffrey has actually been doing pretty good. Even in the loss against Seattle, he did very well. He was one of those guys you're like, fuck.
Don't let him get the ball in open space. He's going to blow by. The Browns are a young squad. I would hope the Browns would win, but, this just sounds too good for them. This is the game where Cam Newton bounces back and makes their little surge. That's what he's good for. He's good for hunkering down and finally I need to get this.
Yes.
That's just what I feel like that's the kind of mentality he's gonna have coming into this game.
Yeah, Cam Newton has that ability to just take over games, and I think Baker is eventually going to get to that point. I hope to see that. Not against the Ravens in the 2 games we play them, but I just think that. Yeah, Cam Newton this is his bounce back game, and I don't think he's gonna lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Because then him, and he's not a good guy with media. He doesn't want to hear, "Oh, you're off to a 0-3 start." Well, maybe if that happens, we'll hear something.
You got to think of Ron Rivera too. What's his motto going into this team, going into the game against the Browns? who wants to lose to the Browns this year?
Nobody
wants to lose. I mean, they fired Hugh Jackson. Now it's Todd Haley's squad.
I don't even think he deserved to get fired, man. Like that.
He stuck in with it. And he took all the heat.
Yeah.
But change if you go undefeated, go defeated 2 seasons. It's
Yeah.
time to change something.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing I think I feel bad for is that all the work he put in, someone else is gonna get that.
Yeah.
He built that roster. Yes, with other coaches and other that, but he's the main face. He built that team, and it's kind of like almost. I hate to say this, I because I love this guy as a coach. It's almost kind of like what happened with the Jim Harbaugh situation. Like he walked into a pretty good team, and then he made them better, and then as soon as he left, everything else went. I don't really know how that analogy works, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it sucks to see that someone else is going to get that credit. But hey, as long as the Browns are going to be good.
It was a lot of John Dorsey. Hugh Jackson did. He took it. He took the team going into a more of an offensive. Because the Browns have always been hunker down and try to beat someone 6-0 because they haven't been no good for how long.
Man, when we were little,
since you've seen Peyton Hillis on the
surprise
God Madden cover.
Did they have like 7 wins that year that he was on the cover?
Yeah.
And then what? I think he went to I think he's a secret agent now. What the fuck, man? Just their luck. Their best player goes and joins the Secret Service. Good for him. Yep. Moving into Denver at San Francisco, I think I'm gonna go Denver this game.
I'm gonna go a little wild card. I'm gonna go Nick Mullins.
Are you gonna go Nick Mullins?
Nick Mullins, Kyle Shanahan. They look. They didn't look awful. They're moving the ball against Seattle.
Seattle's tough.
Broncos defense has got a really good pass rush, but as a young squad, this is a good turning point for them. Show what they got. I'll take the Niners.
Yeah, I think their offensive. When they get things going, they can be a good team. As a Ravens fan, I'm going to cheer for the guy who was on the Ravens. Kyle Juszczyk is actually a pretty good piece in that team, weirdly. Like, he's a passing fullback, but
fullback, and he could block.
And he catches.
He's a hybrid. He's a slow running back.
Yes.
Slow, big running back that can block.
Yes. Perfect system for them. I just wish they had Garoppolo and some good players because then the Seattle games would be more interesting. So I'm going to go Denver this game. Moving into the Cincy at LA Chargers, I don't even really have to say anything about this game. I'm just going to go Chargers. I don't know about you. What do you?
Just Chargers.
Yeah.
No AJ Green, no Andy Dalton. Marvin Lewis is thrown in the towel.
I watched them put this game on TV, on cable. And I'm sorry for people who watch on cable. Moving into Detroit at Arizona. This is another game. I'm just
another barn burner. You got Jets, Bills, fucking.
This is
Dolphins.
just a shit bowl week, man. Or not bowl week, but just as a shit game week.
Yeah, I guess we see a couple big games.
We see Baltimore, Kansas City. Not just saying that because I'm a Baltimore fan. Indy, Houston will be a good game.
The Giants, Redskins.
Giants will be a good game.
Giants, Redskins play this week, and Eagles, Cowboys play this week. So, it's a big NFC North or East.
NFC
East.
North.
That's what theirs is.
The Packers division.
No. The Redskins, Giants. Isn't that
NFC East?
NFC
yeah.
East. NFC East.
Yeah, I guess there is some pretty good games towards the end, but for Detroit at Arizona, I think I'm gonna go Detroit. To be honest with you,
I think I'm gonna go Cardinals.
You're gonna go Cardinals
at home, coming off a big dub. Josh Rosen's balling out. Buda Baker's flying around.
Oh
out there.
yeah,
free safety.
Oh yeah.
Who's their new linebacker this year? They just drafted.
Who? Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
I do know Deion Buchanan's over there in Washington State. He's pretty good. He's a hybrid linebacker.
Yeah. But anyways, they're coming off a good dub. The Lions, did they win last week? They took the L last week. They got smacked by the Rams. So I'm gonna go Cardinals. Keep the NFC West.
I think that Detroit is gonna. I don't even know why I picked Detroit because I was just hating on them a couple minutes ago. I was just hating on them, and I picked
on
them.
3-0 Reddick.
Yeah, I was all fuck them. I didn't say that, but moving into the next game, we got Pittsburgh at Oakland. This is a game I'm not even. I should say Pittsburgh has a bye this week.
It says bye week.
Pittsburgh has a bye. They're Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh at bye. That's what it should say.
Are we assuming they won't score a single point? I'm
saying the Steelers win this 38-0, and then we're gonna hear all the Steeler fan birds. Oh yeah, I told you we were good. I told you. Yeah, we're elite. It's like, okay, we get it. You beat Guyliner car. I gotta go Pittsburgh. I don't know about you.
Yeah, Pittsburgh all the way.
Yeah, Philly at Dallas though.
Big game. This is for the playoffs.
This
right
is, I think, the highlight. Honestly, over.
If the Eagles get this dub this week against the Cowboys, it's gonna look it's looking better for the Giants. The Giants will be back.
Yep,
they can make their push.
Yeah, a lot of NFC teams are really kind of like, what is going to go on? Because everyone wants Dallas to lose.
Because the Redskins are still in the hunt.
Yep.
The Redskins are playoff team right now.
That division is actually, they're not the best division, but they're competitive this year.
It's all up in the air.
So, with that, who are you going with, and how much are they winning by, and how are they going to win?
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Dallas. Zeke's been looking good this last couple weeks. They've been running it down everyone's throat. He's gonna want to put it on for everyone this week at home and in Dallas. Another in Dallas game. He's trying to show out.
Wow, I'm gonna make this interesting, and I'm gonna go Philly. And the reason why I'm gonna go Philly is you're going Dallas, and the other reason is I think Carson Wentz is gonna have a decent
a bounce back kind of game.
Bounce back game.
Last year MVP Carson Wentz.
Yes.
That's what we're gonna see.
Statistically, I've heard that he is playing at the same pace, but they're just not winning. But I think he's only going to bounce back for this game. I think only this game.
Only this game. He's only going to show out today.
I think Alshon Jeffrey has 2 touchdowns, and I say Philly wins. I'm going to write this down: 32-22. It's going to be a hard win to win in Dallas, for damn sure. I'm scared of Ezekiel Elliott as an Eagles fan for this week. So moving into wow, this is not a bad game either. The Rams at Chicago, but is Trubisky playing? I do not know if Trubisky's playing.
I think he is.
Is he playing?
Yep. And there's a little bit of some beef going on, or not beef, but there's connection between him and Jared Goff being roommates and.
They were roommates.
Finally get to go against each other.
That would be fucking crazy,
right?
Could you imagine if we were playing in the NFL?
Professional.
That'd be cool.
Just like a brother thing, just like J.J. Watt with him and his 2 brothers.
That'd be fucking cool.
But Aaron Donald was playing MVP. If they're gonna give MVP to any defensive player, it'd be him this year. He's been the most dominant player in the NFL. He's looking like Quentin Williams, in the college football playoffs. Alabama's stud D tackles.
They produce fucking beasts.
Just
Nick
monsters.
Saban is putting something in their water. I have no idea what they're doing. So who are you picking?
I'm going with the Rams. They're going to stomp all over the Bears.
I can't pick Chicago.
Everyone's knowing that they're just the Rams are a powerhouse.
Yeah,
the Rams are a powerhouse. Sean McVay is just his mind is just crazy.
Young mind. He's got this. He's got these fresh everything, man. He's a pretty cool guy. He's not afraid to fucking do some crazy shit. Moving into the Minnesota at Seattle game. Monday night football in Seattle with the 12th man.
I think we already know who both of our picks are. I'm going Seattle.
I'm going Seattle
for sure, and I think it's going to be another Bills game. I'm going to say it. They're going to take a trounced L by the Hawks.
You think they're going to fucking kick their ass? You think, what, is it going to go above 30? 36 to what?
36 to 17.
Wow. I think it could very well happen. So that actually does it for Week 14 picks for us, and we're actually going to move into a segment on the show. Our third segment of the show is actually always just more of a question-based thing, just kind of a hangout kind of thing. I'm going to ask Darion and people listening, what player in the NBA should have a ring that does not have a ring, and why? In the current NBA, because if we were to go back in time, it would be a lot more players. A lot more players were robbed. And, this generation I think is good to focus on because, a lot of people know who's playing right now. So who do you think deserves a ring right now? 1 or 2 players?
You want to bring up, Russell Westbrook because of his, of course, triple-doubles and last year averaging a full triple-double, doing how much he does for his team, But what I wanted to see is James Harden. James Harden's left. He took
2 teammates.
Took his own teammates. And him, Durant, Russell Westbrook all have MVPs now. He should be the first one to get the ring before or after Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He led his team last year to what was supposed to be it. I mean, because you could also say
They were there.
James Harden and Chris Paul need their ring.
Yeah, Chris Paul is definitely up there.
There's a lot of different players. It's just all based on look at the Clippers. The Clippers are second in the West.
I can't believe that. I can't stand the Clippers.
Clip show.
Who would have thought the Clippers? If you would have
Williams.
told me the Clippers would have a better record.
Bogdanovich.
Spur. He's a former Spur.
Boban Bogdanovich.
Okay? Before I move into what's wrong with who and what's wrong with what team, the person I would have to go with would be probably Westbrook. Or God, you hit it on perfect. I'm totally kind of stumped right now. I also do think it would be cool if Paul George had a ring.
Yeah,
Eastern run with the Pacers.
He was dominant. He had LeBron James's name on his. He was just taking everything, everything LeBron had. Everything he was throwing at him, taking it.
He dunked on his best bud Birdman that year. He had Roy Hibbert, who was actually playing at a great fucking. He was doing very good. I think, if I were to say, I would say Chris Paul, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I think they still have a chance of winning.
Yeah, Damian Lillard, he's been in Portland for about 8 years. You want to see something out of Portland rather than maybe a second round berth. We're looking for something big. We're just kind of something different.
Yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge on the Spurs would be cool to see him win one. DeRozan would be cool.
Yeah, DeRozan. To see Kawhi, maybe win another one somewhere else
in Toronto.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool to see. But if we were gonna say who would be cool to see, I think Giannis would be really cool to see win an NBA championship.
Yeah, the new, basically the new modern era player,
yes.
Long, fast. Now, he didn't have a jumper when he came in. Now he's working on it.
That guy is fantastic. He's one of those guys, I hate to say it, he doesn't even fucking need a jumper. He scores 28 points just by dunking it and laying it up.
Yeah.
But obviously everyone's gotta have a jumper somewhat. You got to piss? All right, go ahead. And then I'll actually just talk about some other things, why Darion's actually going to go take a piss right now. Luka actually goes and beats the Blazers and hits a game-winning shot. There's something about this kid that I just didn't really like when I first saw him in the draft. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that he was an international player playing for the Mavs. I'm a big Dirk guy, but I just don't get why I didn't have a good sense for this guy. Maybe it's his face. Maybe it's, I don't know. Then we have Kevin Durant taunting fans. Kevin Durant's just one of those guys that does this type of stuff. This is in his blood. He's one of those guys that just likes to get under your skin somehow. Hassan Whiteside actually ended up getting injured early in a game, and he actually ended up coming back, and that was a big reason for the Heat, losing that game. But to finally come back and say Markelle Fultz is actually going through some psychological shit lately and actually has a shoulder nerve issue. So maybe that's what's going wrong with Markelle Fultz. Maybe he's just not, doing the greatest he could do. What do you think about Markelle Fultz and what's going on with this first round pick? He's from UW. He looked fantastic in UW. What's going on?
I don't know. I feel like maybe because of being the first pick, everyone's surrounding who's better, him or Tatum. After these last couple of years, or these last 2 years, you want to say it's just nerve-wracking to watch him shoot those free throws. It's just God. Just turn the TV off. I can't watch. It's rough. He works hard. You could tell he wants to play. He has the potential of being a good player. But, of course, like you said, it's definitely got to be something psychological. It's just more in his head. He's got a problem. A fresh start sounds nice. Gives a man another push.
Damn. What if they traded him?
That's what I'm hearing. After getting Jimmy Butler, they said they're not getting rid of T.J. McConnell. They got J.J. Redick.
What do they need him for?
Simmons is their point guard.
Yeah.
Now that they got Jimmy Butler, I mean, Markelle Fultz may be a bench player now, but as a number 1 pick, you don't ever really want to think of him as your new bench star, you know?
Yo, what if he went to San Antonio or the Lakers?
The Lakes.
I don't know about the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't think he definitely won't go to the Lakers.
Or who needs a guard?
I mean,
Spurs really do.
I was thinking of Phoenix.
Phoenix
hasn't had
move
a
Devin to 2, or is he already a 2?
No, yeah, Devin's already.
Oh, okay.
But they're working with him. I mean, they've went through 7 point guards and 7 head coaches or whatever. What if 5 head coaches or something? I mean, he can't find a point guard.
Phoenix
you know what I
is
mean? So
due.
he's got to start bringing the ball up, and that's why his assist rates have been going up as of recently because he's been playing more point guard and doing more playmaking.
Yeah, I think that's what Phoenix is actually missing. So I know you know NBA a lot more than I do. What team is surprising you the most other than the Clippers this year? Because, you know, Clippers.
Sacramento Kings.
The Kings.
They're 12-11, 4 games back. I mean, half a game out of the playoffs. I mean, the West is always going to be, you know, tight and close.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Rockets in third to last place at 11-12.
They're third to last place right now?
Third to last place, tied with New Orleans Pelicans.
But could teams beat that team in a 7-game series?
In a 7-game series, I mean, yeah, they're
Yeah.
young. I mean, they're young, but you never know. I mean, they've been playing well. You know, they only give up 100. I guess they do give up a lot, but I mean, they're young. They're young. I mean, it's going to take a couple years for them to solidify themselves, but they're playing good basketball.
Yeah. To wrap this up and to tell you one thing that's actually been crossing my mind, and I know a lot of people have had this on their mind too because of number 2 in Toronto. But are the Toronto Raptors a legit threat for the whole NBA? Because, you know, I look at the East and I say Boston, yeah, they're a good threat against them. They're a good threat against the Sixers, and they're a good threat against the Pacers and the Wizards, and I don't know, maybe the Bucks too. But are they a threat to someone like Golden State?
I mean, I've liked the way they've moved themselves. You know, I mean, Fred VanVleet's playing good with Kyle Lowry. You know, now that Kawhi Leonard, there's another guy that they're scared of. I mean,
yes,
people are scared of Kawhi Leonard. He's got the largest hands ever in the NBA. I feel like, and you know, I mean, he'll outwork you. You know, what I mean, and he'll step up and guard you and tell you, I'm guarding you right now.
Yeah,
Siakam's been playing good. He's hitting threes. He's, I think, most improved player.
They're bench too.
Yeah, I mean, OG Anunoby's he's killer from Indiana.
They got Danny Green.
He's playing lights out.
Serge
Ibaka's back.
Valanciunas.
Yeah,
that team is pretty, like, you know, on paper, a lot of people would be like, who are these guys? Like,
but
unlike that Cavs roster the other year, like where everyone knew everyone because they were such a personality. This team is like one of those, they play team ball. Sorry to interrupt you about Toronto, but who do you think, okay, yeah, we'll end on this. Who's going to play in the finals this year, or is it too early to tell right now?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's too early to tell. I mean, the Nuggets are your number one in the West, with the Clippers being 2.
They have the number 1 record, the Denver Nuggets?
Denver and Clippers are tied at 16-7, but I assume Denver's got the advantage as of right now. You know, I mean, Denver's on a 6-game winning streak. They're playing good.
IT motivating him?
IT motivating them, and they don't even have Isaiah Thomas or Michael Porter. They're number 5 or 6.
Oh, he's still hurt.
Michael Porter.
They drafted him hurt.
I mean, you got just like I said earlier, the Rockets are third to last, Spurs are second to last. I mean, it's such a tight run over in the West. You never know who's gonna make it. I mean, the Lakers might not make it this year.
Could you imagine that? This is the year LeBron doesn't make playoffs, and then dude, I can hear it. Oh, well, I told you he couldn't win in the West.
Yeah.
Who does LeBron have?
I mean, you got a lot of young core.
A lot of young guys.
I mean, but then they try to fill the void of the young guys with the older vets.
Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler. I mean,
Cartavius Caldwell-Pope.
JaVale McGee's playing one of his best years. I mean, defensive player of the year if he keeps up his block consistency. I mean, he's been a good rim runner, a good rim protector.
Yeah, they definitely filled a void for this year. They made it look like, you know, they're at least trying. I think they are gonna try for this year. The Lakers are a pretty good team. Is there anything else that is sticking out to you in the NBA that you could think of? One or two, or maybe just one thing that you could just be like, what the fuck is going on? Or what the hell is going on with this team that team? What is it?
Not much of a what's wrong with them, but
Yeah.
more of a when are they going to be able to step it up? I think was the New York Knicks. I thought
Yeah.
they were going to be good, but no Kristaps Porzingis having they have a young squad too. Kevin Knox, Tim Hardaway, all those guys. I just wanted to see them come out and play better. I thought that was kind of gross. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets, that's nice. I mean, Tony Parker coming out and playing well. Miles Bridges, all and crew, they're looking good. I mean, the Wizards are
Dwight Howard on their team now, or is he?
Dwight Howard's on the Wizards.
Wizards.
Down
Yes,
with
Wizard. Comic book boy Dwight Howard.
Did you hear about him? I think they might be done for this. He might be done for
what?
A good amount of time.
Is he hurt? Like pretty bad?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my goodness! Who would have thought Dwight Howard would have been? You heard it here on Weekly Take that Dwight Howard is hurt. Who, not first, obviously. But, me and Darion have been talking sports for, a long time. It's actually, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes so far, and this is the longest show by far. So to end the show, this is Darion Joseph, my cousin. Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone who's been listening or plans on listening about this show, about who you are as a person to end on?
Not really, just,
Just hanging out and having a good time.
Just hanging out, talking sports. I mean, and any other normal dude,
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, I mean, we may sound like we know what we're talking about, but we just have Bleacher Report on our apps, on our phones, and we just read in depth.
We're just reading it, and then now we're telling it to you. It's just a relay. It's just a relay.
We're doing we're just basically. If you were to sit in this room with us on any other day, we would do the same exact conversation. You may be a little less awkward, but we're still working out the kinks. So this has actually been episode 10 of the Weekly Take podcast. I just want to say thank you guys for all listening, and everyone have a good day. Thank you so much for watching.